Hello, welcome to another video. Today I am talking about 5 books with morally grey characters. I love a morally grey character, and I think I should probably start this by explaining what I mean by morally grey character. So, because I feel like it's a term that's bandied around about quite a lot, but I'm not sure that I've personally ever heard like a description of it, so I thought I'd give one or tell you how I interpret morally grey. For me, a morally grey character is someone that does the wrong thing for the right reasons, or does the right thing no matter who it's going to hurt. So, for example, it might be someone who knows that doing the thing is going to hurt a lot of strangers, but they don't care because it's the right thing to do for the person they love. So, doing the wrong thing for like one person. Or it might be that they know that the right thing to do is, let's say, kill this one person, but they're doing it because they're jealous of them rather than because they actually, are doing it for the good reasons. I don't feel like I explained that very well, but I'll explain my reasonings behind the morally grey characters in these books as I get to them. So these are all fantasies. I do feel like morally grey is quite a well-used character trope in fantasy, and quite honestly, I'm here for it. Love it. So I'm going to start off with the character that everybody thinks of when you say a morally grey character. The one that I expect everybody knew was going to be on this list, Mr. Casbrecker from Six of Crows. This is a very, very beautiful edition. I love this edition of the book. So Kaz is the leader of the Crow Club. In my mind, he is morally grey because while he does, because he's not afraid of doing the wrong thing, and he knows that what he's doing is criminal, and he knows that what he's doing is not seen to be as the correct thing to do. However, he does it anyway because it meets his ends or because it makes somebody else's ends. And I think you see this quite a lot within Six of Crows, and without kind of spoiling the storyline, if you think of the plot of Six of Crows, which is ultimately a heist, Kaz is doing this heist because he knows that he can get something out of it. And he's pulled in people who both are kind of just his mates and just going to go along with him, but also people that have got a personal investment in the results of this heist. If this heist pays off, they get something out of it other than like just pride and money, which is what Kaz gets. So he's kind of doing the right thing. He's helping these certain characters. And again, don't want to spoil anything, but he's not doing it for the right reasons. He's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart to help those characters. He's doing it because he gets something out of it. And again, if you think of in Six of Crows, especially Kaz and Inej, whose relationship is just gorgeous. I mean, I wouldn't even really call them like a romance because they are not really romantically involved, but they definitely, relationship is the word I'm going to use. And the things that Kaz will do for Inej aren't necessarily, are off in her favour, but they're not necessarily good things. He is willing to kill for her, and to be honest, for most of the crows, that's never going to be the right thing to do, but it is the right thing for that person. So yeah, Casbrecker, the ultimate morally grey guy, bad boy. The next morally grey character I want to talk about is, again, quite an obvious one. This is the one that kind of inspired this video, and I know I am jumping on this train fairly late, but it's still chugging along, so I'm still jumping on it. And that is our favourite Xaden, and also Violet to an extent, from Fourth Wing. So I'm going to talk about Xaden first. Xaden is, in my mind, the kind of morally grey character who he's not doing things for his, to help anybody. If you think of the scene in here when, or really any scene in Fourth Wing, when Violet is fighting, Xaden doesn't go, oh, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. Let me protect you. Xaden goes, go on then. He's not a pushover. He's not going to actually treat her differently. He's going to be doing what is perceived for a good half of the book as the wrong thing. He's fighting her on the mat. He's doing things where actually it's kind of seen as, oh, he's not a nice person. But he's not doing them because he's being mean. He's not doing them because he's evil. He's not doing them because he's doing extra favours for anybody. He's doing them just because this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to help you, but you're going to have to earn it. And I also think, to an extent, Violet is a morally grey character in Fourth Wing as well. So the reason I think that is, if you think of the way that Violet has got through the academy and how she has beaten people in the fights that they take, she's not playing fair. She isn't fighting someone hand to hand and winning on brute strength. She's doing what if any other character did what she does, and again, I'm not spoiling anything, you would say that person is doing the wrong thing. But she does it in a way, and she does it for a reason that you're like, actually, no, I get what you're doing now. It makes sense. So again, there's those kind of like grey morals in there. So the next one that I am going to talk about is a book that I've read recently and fallen in love with. That's Hilo from Jade City. So the reason that I think that Hilo is morally grey is, again, like I've said already, he does the things that he does not because they are the right way to get a result, but they're almost because they're the easiest way. Hilo is known for being aggressive and for, going in all guns blazing, shoot first, ask questions later. And to me, that is what makes him morally grey. There's events that happen in Jade City which it didn't need to have resulted in bloodshed, but the way that Hilo handled them resulted in bloodshed. So again, you kind of look at him and you're like, well, are you a good character? Not really. Are you a bad character? Not really. I mean, I get why you're doing these things. They're not the right things to do, but I get why you're doing them. And that for me is what makes him morally grey, and also really adorable. I like him a lot. He reminds me of Damon from the Vampire Diaries. Maybe just because I was watching the Vampire Diaries when I read Jade City, but he does remind me of Damon. A kind of cinnamon roll all wrapped up in a scary exterior. My next morally grey characters, and this is really a whole book full of morally grey characters, but it's basically every character in The Blade itself by Joe Abercrombie. So I'm just going to talk about our main three, which are Glokta, Logan and Giselle. So starting off with Glokta. Glokta is a torturer. So automatically you're like, you are not a good person. You torture people. And he does take some kind of pleasure in it as well, which is where you're like, oh, you're enjoying what you're doing as well. This is really not good. However, Glokta, particularly through the series, particularly in book 2, does so many things where you kind of go, wait. And he's never a good character, but there are so many things that he does which aren't necessarily done out of evilness. So for example, Glokta's whole relationship throughout the trilogy with R.D. West is so heartwarming. And again, it's not that he's kind of doing the wrong things for the right reasons, and I really like him. We've then got Logan. Logan is a barbarian from the north, and in my mind, Logan is an absolute cinnamon roll. However, he also has this like alias, this alternative side to him, which is the Bloody Nine. And when the Bloody Nine comes out, if you are alive and near him, he will kill you. Doesn't matter whether you're friend or foe. If the Bloody Nine is out, you are dead. And even Logan as Logan does things that are just not okay. But he still tries his best and he's trying to do the right thing. So yeah, Logan, again, morally grey. And then finally we've got Giselle. Giselle is probably the least morally grey of the three characters, in that he's the most on the kind of good side. His main fault is he's stupid. He's dumb. He's a dumb kid. But aside from that, he does a lot of things. Like, he throws people under the bus, and he's a spoiled, dumb kid, basically. And yeah, he'll throw people under the bus. He'll treat people badly. And not because he's doing it because he's a bad person, mainly because he almost seems to not know any better. And yeah, I think Giselle is one of those characters which really, he's even when he's doing the right thing, he doesn't do it in the right way. So for example, in the second book, when we've got the adventure and the quest happening, like the reaction that the first time that Giselle is in an actual fight with someone where it's not, like a choreographed fencing championship, and bear in mind that Giselle is the fencing champion of like the country. The first time he's in a fight, he gets injured badly, but he doesn't die. It's not a life-threatening injury. And the fuss that he makes, it is as if he is the first person that has ever been cut by a sword. And you kind of get this whole like idea of he's tried to do the right thing by fighting, but he didn't do it for the right reasons. He didn't do it to kind of protect someone. He did it because he wanted to be seen as this like powerful guy. So also fantastic series. Book 3 is a bit shit, but book 1 and 2 really, really good. But lots of morally grey characters in here. The final book I'm going to talk about, and the final character, is another female character, and that is Rin from the Poppy War. So Rin is incredibly determined. Rin wants to get into this elite school, and she will do anything to get into that elite school. She will, cheat, murder, steal. She does most of those things, but not just to get into the school. But even when she's there, Rin is more interested in being the best than she is in making friends with everybody. And I feel like where Rin is morally grey is she is so focused, she is so blinkered, that it almost doesn't matter what she's doing. She is going to do what she wants to do. So when the war happens, Rin is on the side that Rin wants to be on, not the side that she's told to be on necessarily. And Rin is fighting the people that Rin wants to fight, not the people that she's told to fight. She's one of those characters who, if someone says you need to go and do this, she'll go, I don't want to. I'm going to go and do that instead. And we'll go and do that thing. She's absolutely fantastic. I really want to reread this book. I haven't continued the series, and I really want to. But I want to reread The Poppy War before I continue. And I feel like talking about this now is making me actually very excited to reread this one and finish the rest of the series. So, they are my 5 books. They are my 5 books with morally grey characters. Let me know if you've read any of these ones. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you agree that they are or are not morally grey. And if you liked this video, please leave me a like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!